Now, I want to find out, how can young people discern whether our expectations are in alignment with God's word rather than societal pressures or our own desires?
So we go back to Genesis. so then we ask ourselves, did Adam have specs? Of course, I don't think he really had specs. Maybe he had specs. He observed animals. And he probably said, I need somebody who looks like me.
Yeah.
I need somebody who has 2 feet like me.
Yeah.
I need somebody who has probably my complexion. I need somebody I can talk to. I need somebody I can think with.
Yeah.
I need somebody I can rule this garden with. I need,
So
so he's so if he has specs, this would be it. So he sees what God gives him, and following your lead, then he says, "That's my spec. This what I'm looking for. This is what my heart is crying for." So this expectation of people sometimes can be very frivolous. Life is just deeper than some of the physical things we are looking for, because you're looking for somebody to share your life with, and somebody you can truly give of yourself to. So what spec is that? Does the person have to be kind? Does he have to be generous? Does the person have to be spiritual, prayerful? What are you looking for? Ultimately, you're looking for somebody you can share your life with. If you go with a tall list of physical attributes, educational attributes, and all of that, but you can't share your life with a person, then it doesn't spec well.
The spec is not specking. So let's say you go out on a date with a potential person. What kind of conversation should you be having to know that maybe the spec is specking or the spec will not spec?
Different people respond differently. There are people who are not good conversationalists, but they are good human beings.
That's so good.
But they're not good conversationalists. And you go and sit with them, you may end up saying, this is not it. But it could be the person.
Yeah.
It's just they don't know how to do conversation well. So I think sometimes it takes more than just one event to know a person. And I think getting to know people in non-conventional ways helps. And by that I mean where there's no agenda.
Yeah.
Because when you go on a date, there's an agenda. You need to perform well, you need to speak well. But you meet somebody in a group, maybe in a Bible study, in a youth group, wherever, and there's no agenda. You're just two human beings functioning within a context. And in that place, you are yourself and you're expressing yourself. And I think we learn character when people are not pretending, when people are not pretentious, when people are not conscious that they are being marked or studied for approval or disapproval. We are ourselves best. So I think it shouldn't start even with going on a date with people. It should start with functioning within the space you function in. And if you're a Christian, let's say you are in church, you are now in the youth church, you are a teenager, just going to church, singing, worshiping, doing whatever you do, going for a youth camp. All of that is a safe way of getting to know people. And pretty soon, you're going to see people that you think work well with you. And as you grow more into adulthood, one or two people will stand out as people who you think you have a deeper connection to. And you feel that, I can live with this person for the rest of my life and not be bored. And so that happens. Of course, as you grow older, if you want to get married, it becomes complicated because these atmospheres are difficult You work somewhere, the person works somewhere else.
Yeah.
You don't meet, somebody just connects you. So then everything is about performance and approval. And I think there's a lot of pretense that goes on in those circumstances.
So you have a group of friends, you realize that I like this particular person or these groups or this two people, for instance. How do you know to take the step towards one of them? How are you figuring it out?
Well, I mean, the big thing about relationship is, how do I make my intentions known?
How do you shoot your shots?
Yes. And how do I make my intention known in a way that makes sense? And so how do I make my intentions known so I'm not rejected? And it works both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a young lady and you like somebody, you don't want to come across as forcing too much. So how do I make my intentions known? So you're trying to send very subtle signals, hoping the person catches it. But if the person too is a blunt person, then they're not catching it.
Yes.
So then should I push more? Should I do more? And if you're a man, you're going through the same thing. I mean, you're doing a little, dropping hints here and there and hoping that the person is picking up. Because people respond differently. Sometimes you can't tell what a person is. So there's always the unknown. You're going to put yourself out there and you're going to hope that
it lands
well. So I think, for speaking for young men, for every man who has proposed to a lady, you go through, no matter how you feel, no matter how the relationship has developed, the day you're going to pop the question, you're not sure whether you'll be rejected or not, because you can't be 100% that this person is feeling the same way you are feeling.
Yeah.
So what if Adam says, this is now bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh, and Eve says, hey, wait a minute, I just arrived, I just came to the garden, please give me time, I don't want to commit to anything.
Right.
I mean, that's a possibility.
I mean,
she could have said, hey,
yeah.
Where do I know you from? I don't know you from Adam.
But it's so interesting because how you're talking to a guy, the guy asks you to date, date you, and then some woman say, I want to pray about it. Eve didn't really say, let me talk to God, though, so maybe I don't know where that fits into the whole situation, but they say I want to pray about it, and maybe they pray 1 month, 2 months, almost 1 year. What do you do with all of those things?
Maybe the question came a bit too suddenly.
Shock.
And sometimes people's way of saying no is, let me pray about it. It's Christianese of saying,
yes,
back off.
Yeah.
So if the person says, let me pray about it, and they're over praying, they are sending you a very nice Christian message. It's not working. But normally when people pray about it, Christians pray before they make decisions. And this is a big one.
Yeah.
And even if you think you like the person, you want to really be sure spiritually, am I doing the right thing? Is this what God wants? Is it God's will? So the let me pray about it is a nice thing. Only it should not be used as a euphemism for rejection. If it's not going to work, then very quickly take the person out of his misery, so that he doesn't carry this hope which would never be fulfilled.
Never, ever. What about the guy, Doc, that says that, oh, God revealed you to me. God said I should marry you. What do we do about those guys too? Because there are a lot in the system.
There are sisters too who do that. There are sisters, young sisters who also say,
justice for the sisters.
God has revealed, I saw you in a dream. I try not to use that language, and I think people shouldn't use that language. It's a coercive language. In other words, it's a way in which you are trying to corner a person against their will. When you bring God in, or you bring a supernatural dimension in, if you're going to be accepted, you should be accepted because the person likes you, not because they feel compelled by God, to marry you. I don't think marriage is a mission field where we are called, to go and win souls, and we are compelled to preach the gospel. I think it's a will issue, and we have to learn to be nice human beings without becoming spooky Christians with a language that makes us look weird.
Yeah.
And although we think we are being spiritual, people see us as not being reasonable and being sensible. So I would say take the spiritual language out of it and just say, build a relationship. Naturally relationships get to a point where it looks more likely that the two of you are going to be a partner together.
Awesome. Thank you, Doc. We take a question.
Hi, my name is Benjamin. And my question is, if you could give one non-negotiable principle for a long-lasting relationship, what would it be?
For a Christian, it is that the person must share your faith. The person, that's non-negotiable. Because your faith is your deepest value. It's what you consider most important. It is the fountain of your choices. If you're a Christian and you're a serious Christian, your choices, your preferences, your desires are all driven by what you believe, your faith. So it's important that you share your faith with that person. Other things you can negotiate, but at the faith level, it's very difficult to negotiate anything outside of the faith. You may even love each other very much, but even how do you define love? What is the basis of love? Because your faith determines what love is, who God is, who's your ultimate authority, where do you draw inspiration from, how do you make this decision, and so on and so forth. So I think that's non-negotiable.
Doc, where do you think the role of mentors or people that we are accountable to play from dating to marriage and all of that in our relationships?
Christian practice is that there is no sexual relations outside of marriage. So our relationships are going to be platonic until marriage. But that doesn't mean that there will be no attraction to each other. So how do you manage that? How do you manage your feelings for each other? And that's why accountability comes in. First, accountability to yourself. You must be accountable to yourself to say, I'm a Christian. These are my value systems. And this is what my relationship is supposed to be. I want to share my life with somebody, but there is this aspect that is reserved for this period of the relationship. So that's personal accountability. I think there has to be accountability between you and the person. If especially you know that you've proposed and the two of you have accepted and you know you're going to marry in the future, then the two of you must make a vow to each other not to put yourselves in a situation that compromises you. So you have to determine the boundaries of your relationship. When are we going to be together? Under what circumstance are we going to be together? What happens when we are in a room? Do we keep the door open? Do we even have to be in a room by ourselves? Do we sleep over in each other's places overnight? I mean, these are commitments you have to make to each other.
Yeah.
And why is that important? Because you're going to be married for life. And if you don't have that commitment to each other early enough, then even after you marry, there'll be no commitment. Your marriage will be boundaryless. And that can lead into all kinds of extramarital activity. So the commitment to each other, to yourself, to each other. And of course, you can make commitment to third parties. It could be a mentor, could be an older couple, it could be parents, and say, look, we are going together, but we want to really do it right. We want to do it God's way. We want you to watch over us, query us, call our attention to something. When you are uneasy with something, let us know. Give somebody the permission to speak into your life. And it has to be a trusted person who doesn't impose wrong expectations on you. But you need, sometimes you need a third person.
Thank you so much. We'll take another question.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Lois. And Doc, please, looking back to when you were our age and preparing for marriage, what wisdom do you now wish you had embraced earlier? And if you had that understanding then, what would you do differently? Thank you.
I don't want to brag. Not much, really. I didn't do anything then that I would do differently. I gave my life to Christ very early, and I committed to Christ with my life in terms of morality very early. The only lady I proposed to is the one I married. I didn't propose to 10, and I knew people, but there was only one person I committed to, fell in love with, and at the time I did, and married. Just one. So that's it. Not everybody may have their life that way, and I don't presume that everybody's story will be the same. Sometimes it's best to do the right thing right from the beginning, once and for all, than to do revision. But if you have to do revision, of course you can try and do it better another time. All I can say is don't rush into relationships. Get to know yourself well. Get to know God well. If you choose to marry, be ready to make major adjustments in your life to bring that person into your life. And you must be ready to share. You must be ready to give of yourself, give of your time, give of your affection, give of your emotion, give of your ego. You have to be ready to forgive. You have to be ready. I mean, the whole of the donation of your life to somebody else, you have to be ready for that. If you are self-centered, selfish, marriage will never work for you. You have to be ready to donate your life and to say that I'm doing life with this person and I'm doing everything to make it possible for it to happen. And those are the choices I made.
That's a good one. So, Doc, if you raised 3 girls. I happen to be one of them. And if we were single and trusting God for, a husband, and I'm sure there are so many people like that watching us, or trusting God for a wife, how would you approach it now? What kind of advice would you give us? I want you to give that to the viewers.
Well, I mean, to the young ladies, it's always difficult for young ladies in marriage because, it's immodest for you to go out there and propose to somebody. Women are mostly disadvantaged because they have to wait for somebody to gather the courage. So either men are not courageous, then the women are disadvantaged. I would say if you're a woman, just live your life, enjoy your life, tend your garden, take care of your job, your responsibility, your education. Be happy with yourself. Because in your happiness, you become attractive. In your fulfillment, you become attractive. If you are needy, you may repel people. So it's always good for somebody to know this lady is happy with her life. And I think the most attractive women are those who are happy with their lives. They are the ones whom people want to spend their life with. But if the person is not happy, they are always on edge and they're always over eager, then everybody say, hey, watch it. She'll give you trouble, high maintenance and all of that. So be happy with your life. I mean, and with the men, the same thing. Be happy with your life. Be happy with your life and be courageous.
Amen.
A lot is expected from men in the marriage equation because they play a role of decision making in marriage that requires that they be very mature and stable in thought and even in temperament so that they can steer the family right. So for the men, be happy with your life, but mature very quickly and be courageous. And when it's time, let God lead you to some willing woman and build a good life with them. Well, thank you so much for sharing the time with us, and we'll keep talking, and I'll see you again.